are going to talk about some really key tips for a successful Zoom class. Now, first of all, it's really important to make sure that you just stick to the same class. That consistency will allow others to see that what you're doing is duplicatable. So don't take the time to go and change things and add things. The simpler, the better. And the more, the goal is you want everyone who comes to that class to think, oh, I could do that, right? That's all he does. That's all she does. I can totally do that. So use your script, use the slideshow, and don't diverge and don't add to it. Okay. First thing. Another principle is it's really important to touch on the pain point. So start with that. You really want, the next thing is you want the class to be really interactive, right? So when you're on Zoom, that means at the beginning, taking a minute and letting people take the time to put in the chat the pain points that they relate to the most, and really dialing in and connecting with that. The slideshow, the nature of it is it really touches on pain points at the beginning and the problem as well. So as long as you're following that, you'll have that focus there. Also, throughout, there's other times when you need to interact, and so just follow that in the script and give people a minute to participate. Encourage people to have their cameras on so you can connect a little bit more, but if not, to at least use the chat so that, again, they're engaged with the class. And lastly, the most important thing is to have that call to action, to have that next step for them. And this is a principle you're going to want to follow in everything you do in your business. You're always going to be setting up that next time to connect in with that customer. So at the end, you will have them text you different numbers depending on their level of interest and what they'd like to do. So you'll want to put your phone number, if you can, just put it in a slide so it's right there and easy, especially for the recording, so that those that are watching it later can see that. Or you could put it in the chat. And a really, really important thing is in the next day or two after that class, to make sure that you've set up a time with them to close them and to talk about their own health needs, where they want to start. Even if they don't, I want to start with foundational wellness. You want to talk about their health needs so they can see how that's going to be a solution for that, make any recommendations of other things. And here's the most important thing. Instead of sending them a link or a QR code or something like that, it's much more effective to meet with them over Zoom or over the phone and actually help them enroll at that point. That's going to give you the option to check off the box on your end for them to get, on their loyalty rewards order. We'll talk about verbiage for that later. But if you don't do it over the phone or over Zoom, if you just send them the link, you're going to miss out on that opportunity. So that makes a really big difference. Do not skip that step. That connection after the class is really, really crucial for really helping them have the best experience possible and showing up to serve and have a transformational experience for them instead of a transaction one. So, and just to really drive home the point of how important keeping it simple and making it be duplicatable is, there's a really funny story of our master distributor, Eric Larson. He was the CEO of Modere previously, and one of their top guys, top sellers, top recruiters, he had stayed connected with all this time. This is 16 years later, and he was teaching a class, and he was like, oh, I want to go hear this guy's presentation. I'm curious what's changed in this time and what he's doing now. And so he goes, and he gets back from that experience. He's talking to Elise Shedeby, one of our top leaders, and she's like, well, what did you think? And he's like, I was really disappointed. Like, it was the exact same class that he taught all those years ago. And he even told the same jokes. And she had just said, you actually learned a really important lesson from that, right? The power of just when something is working, keep it simple, not straying from it, and duplicating it, because that is what's going to bring growth. The more that you have lots of different things you're doing, it's confusing. And people that come on, don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. So it's so crucial that you just stick to what works and duplicate that again, and again. So good luck with your class. Last other thing too is just make sure you schedule those reminders. I cannot emphasize enough how crucial it is for you to have an alarm on your phone so that you send that reminder 2 days before, 2 hours before. And if you I think even 10 or 15 minutes before is a good one, just with that link fresh for them. So have an amazing Zoom class. You're going to do great.